I hope everyone's having a good day. There's a couple of things that I want to share that are really just warning signs for Kamala Harris. Things are really not looking good. One of them is from The Hill. This is an article, and the title is "The Four Reasons Harris is Losing." And it's not just that, but what made me so bonkers about this was literally the one of the first paragraphs discussed that part of the problem is Kamala Harris herself because she's just not a good candidate. So I want us to look into that real quick. The next thing that I want us to talk about is CNN, like time and again, is seemingly just not throwing Kamala Harris under the bus, but they're just talking about how she is not in a good position. She is very, very weak right now, especially whenever she is positioned against President Trump. And look at this headline from Trump War Room. CNN says the bottom line is this: at this particular hour, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance with black voters since Richard Nixon in 1960, as well as among Hispanic voters. Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance for a Republican since 2004. These are straight from CNN. People are already seemingly calling it quits. It looks like the Democratic Party might be having their sights already set for their 2028 run. It looks like Kamala Harris is just not going to be it this time around. So I do want to talk about this for a second. But yeah, if you like having conversations like this, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. But the first thing I want us to talk about is from The Hill. So the four reasons Kamala Harris is losing. What are the four reasons? Okay. So for one, like I already said, the first is Harris herself. If you read this paragraph, it says she is simply not a very good candidate. She lacks confidence and is seemingly terrified to take any unrehearsed or unvetted policy questions. This liability is not a surprise to those who follow politics closely, but it is a new concern for a number of voters. Yes, because people do not like seeing her freeze on camera because her teleprompter goes out. People don't like seeing her be confused. People don't like seeing her mumble. It turns out people actually like the confidence that President Trump displays. They like confidence that even I guess aside from Republicans, they like the confidence that R.F. Kennedy displays. They like his convictions. Even Pete Buttigieg, he speaks and articulates visions with such compassion that people listen. And even if they don't agree with him, they actually begin to understand, right? And that's something that Kamala Harris is just really, really lacking. Okay. And all, by the way, all of this is apparently from three Democratic operatives behind the scenes who all believe that this race is slipping away from Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay. So that was the first reason. Let's keep going. Look at this. The second reason is that Harris is slipping. Harris is slipping is the Biden Harris administration's record. It is weighing her down, dragging her down. Huh. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that all those things you've done under Biden might come and bite you from behind, like we've discussed here? Either you stand by it and you're proud of it, and your conviction is so strong that you tell people, "Hey, let's do another 4 years of this," or you criticize yourself because you are part of the Biden Harris administration. Oh, look at this! You remember the View snippet that we showed yesterday? Because they asked, "Would you have done anything differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?" And she went off the rails. She says, "There is not a thing that comes to my mind, not a thing." Oh my goodness. And look at this. They even talk about how President Trump has been playing that answer on a loop. They're beyond thrilled that Harris just spot welded herself for the rest of the campaign to Biden administration's failures. That is wild. Okay, that's the second reason. Now, third reason is look at this. We come to the same issue that ultimately ended the presidential campaign of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. It's virtually impossible to run against a cult of personality, which is what Trump has going for him. Sure, you could say that. You could say that. But again, we've talked about this here before as well. The cults exist on both sides. You know, the people who are voting Trump because Trump and the people who vote blue no matter who. Okay, these cults absolutely exist, especially now that they have Barack Obama hitting the campaign trail, all right? Peer pressuring so many people to vote for Kamala just because she's black, right? Like, is that a good reason? You tell me. Okay, there's actually a great video that I want to share later from this man who pretty much stood his ground, and he's like, I'm not gonna be peer pressured. I got a daddy. And I just think this I think it's absolutely hilarious. But I will share that later at the end of this video. But the fourth thing, check it out right here. Finally, we have the issue that the Democratic operatives I spoke with believe is the most devastating for Harris. The old, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Remember that question at the debate that she refused to answer? The problem for Harris is that potentially millions of Americans within the Democrats' core constituencies not only believe that they were better off 4 years ago, but they think that they and their families are being crushed now by the Biden Harris policies and failures. Look at that. The article goes on to read, under that scenario, what is a pragmatic, realistic Democrat with some ability to move the needle to do? For some, it is to prepare for the Harris loss. Look at that. It is to prepare for the Harris loss, regroup, and start betting the Democratic presidential field of 2028. We've been speaking about this for a while. Okay, I believe in one of my last couple of videos, I said, like, my hope for Kamala Harris, if she were to lose, is to take the next 4 years, right, or really the next 2.5 years, to just become better, become a stronger candidate, become deeper in your convictions, become maybe more moderate, because right now you're appeasing to the far left, you're appeasing to the radicals, and you're missing so much of your democratic base. So that's just what I'm saying. And again, this isn't just the Hill, okay? Seeing it, because you can call these things bias, whatever, but across networks, come on.
Party ID nationally. You go to October, November of 2016, Democrats had a 3-point advantage. You go 4 years ago, Democrats had a 6-point advantage. Look at where we are today, Manu. Republicans with a 1-point advantage. A very different picture, very much mirroring what we see in the party registration numbers in those key battleground states, and Pennsylvania in particular.
It actually just shows you, too, why Harris is doing what she's trying to do. She's trying to moderate a little bit on these issues, trying to reach those very voters, because the party registration is changing and the demographics of the voters are changing. Those are the people she needs to attract.
Absolutely. And the GOP leads by a point in party identification right now. The average when the Republican Party loses is the Democrats ahead by 8. When the Republican Party wins, the average party ID advantage for Democrats is 3. Republicans right now, Manu, are doing even better than the average when they win. If there's one little nugget that I think Republicans are really hopeful for, it's this party ID and this party registration data. It really points in a good direction for them and for Donald Trump.
Wow.
Look at that. They say it points in a good direction for the Republican Party and for President Trump. Are you kidding? Look at this. Scott Bratzer said, did someone say Pennsylvania? He is so funny. And I want to share this other clip from Trump War Room. This is a much shorter clip, but it's still good.
I mean, the bottom line is this. At this particular hour, if you believe the polling, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance with black voters since Richard Nixon back in 1960. Not 68, since 1960. That's 64 years ago. Among Hispanic voters, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance for Republicans since 2004 and George W. Bush.
Are you kidding me? This is the end of the line here. This isn't the neck and neck race that they really thought it was a couple months ago. Okay. It turns out Kamala Harris, like the Hill said, isn't the best candidate that best represents the Democratic Party. And no matter how many times you try to, flaunt President Obama to peer pressure these people into voting, the American people aren't standing it. I actually love this perspective from Rob Smith. Check this out. The caption reads, sorry, Obama, I'm a black man, and I am voting for Donald Trump on November 5th, and no amount of lecturing or shaming is going to change that. Deal with it. Check this out.
Sorry, Obama, I'm a black man, and I'm voting for Donald Trump for president, and there is no amount of lecturing or bullying or shaming that you can do that is going to make me change that decision. I am not afraid to vote for Kamala Harris because she is a woman. I refuse to vote for Kamala Harris because she has spent the last 4 years destroying this country. She has spent the last 4 years throwing up the borders to illegal immigrants. She has spent the last 4 years destroying this economy. We have seen over the past couple of months that she is not fit to be president. She can barely speak. She can't articulate a vision. And actually, she's pretty stupid. And if you think that I, as a black man, am going to let that waltz into the White House, that is going to get my vote because you're lecturing me and you're bullying me, and you may be the surrogate black dad for a lot of fatherless black boys that are running around this country, but I got a dad, I know who he is, and it ain't you. I'm voting for Donald Trump for president. Take it or leave it. Sorry, Obama.
You know, it's moments like these when I'm so grateful for Elon Musk and him purchasing Twitter and it becoming X, because it really did create a space for these types of conversations to, you know, elevate to the top. You can now criticize people like Barack Obama in a way that it just wouldn't have been elevated, you know, 4 years ago, right? Because the machine was so strong. And now people could actually see this type of dialogue, and it could actually resonate with them. They could respond to them. And look at this. Oh my gosh. And people could just react. Like, look at this conversation here from court. His response is that the Democrats' main political strategy for the last 20 years has been to shame people into voting for them. No one should be shamed into voting for or against someone. Well done, Mr. Smith. Keep standing up. He says, absolutely. Chris says, this is the best thing I've seen in days. Thank you for your strong voice. See? There were voices that were being silenced. And we even see this in some instances, you know, today from the machine. We see people like RFK Jr. He was struggling on so many other platforms. He was struggling because he was going up against the machine. But whenever the machine was against him, you know what platform was for him? X. Remember whenever he couldn't make it on the debate stage because of some corruption? What did X do? They actually decided to host the debate with him so he could actually be there alongside President Trump and President Biden. And that was because Elon Musk was a fighter of free speech. So I just really love that. Anyways, that's the video for right now. I know we had a couple of different conversations here, but let me know what you think about this. Do you agree with the Hill? Do you agree with these 4 reasons? Do you agree that part of the problem is actually Kamala Harris herself? Let me know in the comment section. And also, do you think CNN and alike networks are beginning to just have their eyes set on 2028? Do you think they're cutting the tie with Kamala Harris? Do you think that they are finally being made aware that Kamala isn't the strongest representation of the Democratic Party? Let me know. Anyways, that's the video. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Although there might be another video coming out today. Okay, we'll see. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you then. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.